Okay, I'm going to admit it. My faith is restored in Square Enix and the Final Fantasy franchise. How you all doing, guys? I haven't posted in 3 days. I had a bit of a rough weekend. I mean, I'm wearing this hat because, I mean, I'll just show you. Oh, I cut the hobo hair off and I look like a steak. And I had a Domino's meal deal. So forgive me if I look quite puffy and inflated on sodium this video. So after E3, I was down in the dumps. I thought, oh god, what have they done? And then a day later they released the Prompto trailer. And I'll just say quickly on the Prompto trailer, that's coming out in 2 days, possibly 1 day by the time I get this up. And oh boy, have we seen some things. If you haven't seen the trailer, which I'm sure most of us have, they've started posting like these GIFs on Twitter that have shown even more bosses, and they look good. Besides the gameplay being absolutely sick, besides the story being absolutely covering the points and Aranea coming in, it looks like this DLC has a hell of a lot of bosses. We've seen the Ice Behemoth, we've seen the MT, the two-legged Magitech thingy-majiggies that Loki and Caligo had. God, Caligo, whatever happened to that motherfucker? Perhaps that's a character they could bring back for episode Ignis. I'm still interested in that dude. Then there was a Bandersnatch with the Trient Yeti thing. I can't remember its name. The Bermudaman Bomb Booster Bastic. I can't remember his name. They're also sending a Deathclaw at us. One of those things, man, that was a tough fight. And then let's just include the ones we've seen in the GIFs and the trailer. That doesn't even include perhaps a Vestal fight will go down. Tabata also said, like episode Gladiolus, sort of where we fought, I better not say for spoilers, but the optional boss that we fought, which was an incredibly dope fight. Supposedly episode Prompto is going to get one of those as well. Yes! So there's a whole array of bosses that I've already seen in this trailer. That's what's really making me excited for it with the combat system. Doesn't even include the vast array of creatures like the koalas coming back and the magic. So it's going to be dope, guys. That's what I'm saying. Why they didn't show that E3, I have no idea. They showed it a day after, and before they showed KH3 and Dissidia. So it seems to me like they really didn't want to make a good impression at E3. And it's funny because we've got news from my boy Tabata. Tab. He's come out and said, we held back a lot of information during E3. We are preparing with high praise to do all sorts of things on a large scale this summer. And the sweat currently beading on my forehead would indicate we're currently in fucking summer. They've got something big in the pipeline. Tabata's even said, we have to be sure to have some proper good. That's how they've translated proper good. Some proper good announcements in the summer. Oh, Tab been hanging with the chavs around my area a bit too much. During Gamescom. So it's all going down in Gamescom, which that's in August, I believe. So supposedly we're going to hear stuff this summer. Then we're going to hear even more stuff in August. I mean, I think Gamescom is August. Let me just... Gamescom 2017. 22nd of August. And the 26th of August. So blow me down, slap my ass and call me an FF15 fanboy. Because I'm super excited for that. So we've got to hold them to these quotes, guys. Proper good, huge, large scale. And just quickly speculating before I move on to the next bit of news, what do I think there will be? I can really envision a PC announcement being done at the Gamescom. That's been a big thing. Because they've said how they really want to do that. And how they even want to implement modding features, which at first I wasn't sure about, but the more I've thought about it, I've thought, no, if you look at the miracles it did for Skyrim, well, when I say miracles at the start, now they're just flogging that motherfucker to death. But at the start it was fantastic, so I'm now kind of excited. What else could they do? Well, Ignis, I think without a doubt we're going to hear about episode Ignis at Gamescom, because it falls right in line with how they've been releasing these sort of Gladiolus. Then 3/4 months later into Prompto, and then 3/4 months more. So it'd be perfect time for Ignis. I think we're going to hear about that survey. I really think we will. Supposedly there's some stuff going around the internet that the Magitech exosuits are coming back. If anyone doesn't know what happened to those, they actually got called out, a copyright called out, for being too close to the Power Ranger suits, so they had to go back and redesign them, and they're going to bring them back. I don't like them. 30 minutes of invincibility in a suit in a game where you could never really get a game over. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to admit it, guys, you couldn't game over in goddamn Final Fantasy XV, and to me that was a big issue. Despite all my raging on streams, I've said it, I actually like to have a game over. I like dying. I want to die. I want to be sent back an hour or two in progress. It's the joy of gaming. Dying and having to repeat content you just did and losing a piece of your soul along the way. It's all happening FF15, big DLCs, and yes, go to the comment section below if you don't like DLCs. It's a Frankenstein of a game, and they should have all been in the original. I'll go quickly address this because this appears on every single video I do. This should all have been in the original. While I can agree with you that there should have been more time dedicated to the story than the optional content, no one can deny that FF15 had the content for volume. Oh fuck it, I can't be bothered. I cannot be bothered. At this point, if you don't like FF15, just leave the room. Just leave. What are you still holding on to? Why, if you didn't like 15, are you still there on the live streams? You're just complaining every time they release the regalia or some other bit of DLC. Get over it. Move along! Let those of us who enjoyed the game. And finishing off the quote, so Tabata then said, more or less addressing that issue, that they've had to release so much, it's taken this long, because it has taken a long time to bring these DLC out. And he has said, from the moment we joined this project, our vision was to create a level of freedom and realism, previously unseen in the Final Fantasy series. Regrettably, we needed a little bit more time to deliver on this vision. I'm just going to say I'm not going to make excuses for Square Enix. I think they definitely should have, managed the program better, not had the whole Versus 13 slip up. Even though I've said, a lot of that was out of their control. By the way, guys, I've ranted at Square Enix the last few days. I'm just going to say, FF14 flopping was a huge issue. The company going under. And then Tabata did what he had to do in his time. So I understand the frustrations people have with these DLCs. A lot of people are just instantly closed-minded to it because I know they feel like they should have had this in the original game. While I don't agree with that, because I do believe that FF15 was more than worth its money. For the actual content that was in the original game, both optional and mainline, I can't see how anyone can say it wasn't worth the money. It should have had all of these DLCs and huge updates and episode Prompto and Gladiolus and Ignis all in the original game. Maybe on a story level, perhaps. Because it's really important to know why Prompto's an MT, how Ignis went blind. I kind of get that. But in terms of an actual story, how many AAA games have only 4 to 6 hour mainline story content and optional content that is pretty mundane? All the optional content is just more of the same combat system, and it falls off pretty quickly. I'm just gonna say I don't think FF15, any of these DLCs should be free. That's just my personal opinion, but I am super hyped to finally see Final Fantasy XV coming together. I love the original game, but there were so many plot points I thought, oh damn, this is gone. We're never going to hear about this, and finally I feel like it's all coming together, and these quotes have given me even more optimism. This picture of Samurai Prompto is a thing, and for FF14. I've never really reported on FF14 news before, but then we're going to start playing 14, enjoying the hell out of it. And by the way, guys, I'm starting also Final Fantasy 15, a new Empire, the mobile title, but videos coming up for that soon. I know, a mobile title. Have you sold out, Peasant? Have you sold out for the mobile title? This is a mobile title I've wanted to play, so I'm going to be playing it. I'm actually going to be live streaming it, so if anyone has any love or interest in a new Empire, we're going to talk about that another time. But going on to with this, FF14 has been undergoing a brutal DDoS attack. So this was around Stormblood coming out 16th to 21st. Arseholes going to be arseholes. I mean, supposedly the attack isn't even over, it's still happening, but they're countering it back, and they're saying, what was the quote? The attack is still continuing to take place by changing their methods at every moment. I mean, it's stories like these, because of the reason why they've done this, and they even say it in this article, and Yoshida's addressed it, is they only do it at the start of an expansion for 2 reasons. One, to get a leg up on the expansion, to get ahead of everyone else, which makes you just the saddest motherfucker that ever lived. I mean, honestly, that is so sad. How desperate do you have to be to DDoS an entire North American server just so you can get a little bit ahead? Absolute knob jockeys. And if it's not that, they've also said it's either just to cause disruption, just to literally ruin the experience for everyone else. Some diabolical arsehole just wants to ruin it for people. And that's why I'm bringing this story up, just because of how much it annoys me, how much it infuriates me. Why someone would go to such lengths just to ruin the game for people. And it's even worse when it's at the start of an expansion. Some people have finished, done everything they can in Heaven's Ward, and they've been waiting for this expansion. So I know even so many people have even booked off a week off holiday. A week off work. And used holiday time to pay it. So I'm 99% sure that no one watching this is a DDoS attacker, but just in case, just got to cover all bases. Fuck you. Fuck you. And finally, finishing off with more FF14 news. Yoshida's come out and said that there is still so much more to do with Heavensward and Heavensward, Stormblood, and FF14 as a game as a whole. So they've been talking about all the dungeons they want to bring and how they're going to bring 2 on even patches and 1 on odd patches. Now I know previously they had 2 and 2, but they're trying to balance it. But what I really liked about this article was what Yoshida was saying. He was saying that this wasn't his game, that he's never let his ego get involved, what he wants. It's always been about the fans. And I just want to say, guys, I can't praise this man enough. For anyone who hasn't played 14, has no interest in 14, but you have a love for Final Fantasy, I still think we all have to thank this man, because after 14 flopped the first time, the 1.0 version, now that really sunk Square Enix to the ground, and by their own admission, the future of the Final Fantasy franchise was uncertain. They had lost a boatload of money, and the only way they got out of it was Yoichi Wanda, probably the best decision he ever made. He made a lot of bad ones. It was to put this man in control and give him full creative independence. And look at what he's turned FF14 into. Square Enix's biggest money maker. This is what's kept the franchise going. So I think we all have to thank him. So Yoshida, let's all give this man a shout out. And in this article, he's saying how he's going to, continue with the story. He's going to continue making the fans the focus of it, what they want. But what's more interesting was that he's saying he will not leave Final Fantasy XIV until he has finished the narrative. So Final Fantasy XIV has this really ongoing story. I'm only at Heavensward, and already I am gripped by the story, and I'm having a blast. But Yoichi Wada has said that the narrative is still going. The story, even after Stormblood, is still going. He's got this whole overarching plot going up, this whole build-up. And he doesn't want to leave until he's wrapped the story up in the narrative. And the interviewer Kabatsu, asked him, how long will that take? And Yoshida said, about 2 more expansions. Whew, 2 more, just to tidy up the overarching plot that he is going. So really great news for FF14, really great news for FF15. Dissidia is at long last coming to the West, and whether you hate them or not, the mobile titles are thriving. So this was a catch up to say that my faith is restored. I did a hell of a lot of negative videos, and even though I did them, I still stand by what I said in those. The 7 remake is still out there. No more news I can bring to you on that, unfortunately, but even that's happening. So I'm really still very happy and excited with the direction of the franchise. And yeah, Prompto's episode in 2 days. 2 more days, and I've got a PS4 Pro coming, and Crash Bandicoot is coming out. Why did I take that off? That's a bad move. So look forward to Gamescom, look forward to TGS, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Coo! Quee. Quay boy. Quay mate. Quay. I try too hard on these videos.